I'm rolling.
Where do I start? I don't even know where I start. So my parents were really young when they had me. When I was born missing my right leg above the knee, and my hand was kind of deformed. This is me when I got my first leg, learning how to walk down at the Shriners Hospital. Between the time I was born to 18, I went through about 40 or 50 of these legs because I grew and because I break them. This is kind of the story of my life. And when I was about 7 years old, I came home from school and I was playing dodgeball. And I got picked last, and I didn't understand why. And I asked everybody why I got picked last, and they said, it's because you have one leg and you suck. Well, this was actually news to me. I didn't know this. So I came home, and this goes to show a lot about my parents. They didn't treat me any different. And I come home from school, and I said, hey, Dad, what's going on? The kids told me I'm different. I don't understand. And my dad nonchalantly sat me down and said, Zach, you know, you're just gonna have to try a little harder than most of these kids. And then at that age, I started playing sports, and it was t-ball and wrestling. I didn't win a match for my first 3 years of wrestling. And my dad he was like a genius. He didn't make it about winning or losing. We had this thing, my first year, it was don't get pinned. Second year, it was not get pinned and to have them score less than 10 points. Third year, things started to change. It was not get pinned and score some of your own points. So that was a win. And then the fourth year, I won 2 matches, and then it progressed to where I was beating people all the time. So about 18, 19, I stopped playing sports because I was out of high school and I didn't really have anything to do. But then at about 21, the Shriners didn't take care of me anymore because I was an adult. I had this company make my first prosthetic leg that wasn't the Shriners. Well, my first experience wasn't the greatest. I went from playing like flag football with my friends every Sunday to literally overnight not able to do that because the leg wouldn't work very well. And the guy told me, I remember he says, that's just your activity level right now, man. And I was like, dude, this isn't right. My activity level is pretty extensive. So with somebody that's as active as me, I'm more of a challenge of a patient. You know, it's not something that's gonna be easy because the things I do are pretty close to, I mean, I don't know if doing aerial hoop is normal, but it's the stuff that I do.
Zach is a prosthetist dream patient. 99% of the patients that we see do not have the musculature, the physical capabilities, the motivation that he has.
Got it.
Something comes in and 6 months later and the thing looks brand new, that person's not using it. I haven't really provided that well of a service. Maybe it was my fault. Maybe the person's just not motivated.
Yes.
But when somebody comes in and it's all beat up and it's being used, and that's what we ultimately want.
Right.
And that's the biggest compliment that you can give to somebody like me.
This is the first time you've done anything physical with this leg?
What's up?
You've only used it for walking. You haven't done it.
No, I've used it for more things, but this is the 4th one I've had, so.
The 4th one?
Yeah.
You've broken all the others?
All of them. So I met Paul Katzev one day. He's the co-founder of Thanksgiving Coffee Company. I was working in the Verizon store.
I walked in and I was coming back from a baseball game and I had a glove under my arm or somewhere. I was holding a baseball glove. And he said, I love playing ball.
We talked about baseball and we talked about, he looked me in the eye and said, you belong in this community. And that was when my mind shifted.
So here was an 80-year-old guy playing with a guy with one leg. It was a profound experience for me.
And the next thing you know, this guy's telling me about his life and what he's done with his business. And it got my mind to thinking about what I could do with the skills that I've accumulated over the years of being alive.
Zach inspired me to think about what the potential is for all of us and how do we overcome the difficulties in our lives.
And this is probably one of the most active times of my life. Well, one night I was running on the beach and I shattered my running leg in half and I couldn't run anymore. Then a few days later, I was at the same beach and a wave came and it took me out and it ruined my walking leg. So I was basically without movement for the first time in my life. I was walking around on crutches And it got me to start thinking about other people who might suffer from lack of movement, people just suffering from limb loss. So we decided to create an organization to help these people that don't really have access to movement. So that became the sole motivator for the project, is to go seek these people out and provide them with movement. So I went to India because Sam knew an organization that does humanitarian services over there, Manavdaram. So I went there and told them what we were trying to accomplish, and we established a connection. I got to see firsthand what it's like in a developing country and see the people that need help. There's a lot of individuals there, and it allowed me firsthand to get a visual of the people that we are actually going to be helping. So what's next for Medicine and Movement Project is we're going to take everything that we've put together and we're going to go out on the road. And what I'm going to be doing is running races all across the western states. 5Ks, track meets, 10Ks, whatever distance I can cover, I'm going to cover it.
Crossing the finish line, number 45.
And we're going to promote and raise the awareness of what we're doing with the Medicine and Movement Project and invite others to be a part of the Movement Project so we can go to India and start the project there and get some of these people movement through prosthetics. But we have to raise the funds to be able to put ourselves in a position to do that. And that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm dedicating my movement every day to doing this.